is up, my planting people? My name is Lithius and welcome to Roots Ready. If it's your first time here today, I would like to say a huge welcome. And if it's not, as always, welcome back. Love to have you. Today, I am excited to show you what people call rare plants, or my rare plant collection, or uncommon. So I'm excited to share that with you guys today. Now I know that rare plants isn't for everyone, and rightly so. Some of the prices of these plants are way too high, and what I'm going to try to do today is just show you some of the ones I have in my collection. Well, not some, in fact it's all of the rare plants I have in my collection, and just let you know what I think about them, if they're worth the hype, if they're worth that rare plant tag. So we'll see as we go through. So some of these plants you would have seen in previous videos, and some of them there's a lot to report on, some of them not so much, but anyway, we're gonna get straight into it. If this kind of content tickles your fancy, then please do consider liking this video or subscribing to my channel. I'm also over on Instagram, so you guys can come and hit me up over there. Without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first plant that I'm gonna introduce you guys to again is this one right here. Now you would have seen this video, this plant in my unboxing video. So this plant actually, with two others actually, I imported from Indonesia, and it's doing okay. So in that time that I've had it, I've got it in pond now, and it seems to be loving that because it's been producing, and I think it's been focusing this energy on producing roots because there is a lot of them in this pot. So that's really good. But I just really wanted to, push out another leaf. This is the Anthurium. I should have started with that. This is the Anthurium Radicans cross with Luxurian. If you guys would have seen a Luxurian, you know it is beautiful plant, and it does resemble this one. You can tell in like the ruffling in the leaves, those deep crevices and so on. I know my leaves aren't the best, guys, but the plant's alive, and that's all I can hope for. It did survive quite a long shipping, so I'm happy about that. It's got similar sort of attributes to the Luxurians, which is that's kind of what I was going for. Is this plant worth the hype? I don't know yet. I think it's too early to say, because when I had it, I think it had like 4 leaves. It came with 4. One was on its way out when it first arrived, and then the second one dropped off quite soon. And these two are holding on, and they're doing quite well because they're helping the plant to just focus on its roots. Is it worth the hype? I'm gonna leave that one as a TBC, and I'll get back to you guys once I've had it for a little bit longer. Next up is this bad boy over here, and this is another hybrid Anthurium. Look at, guys, come on, check it, head check it out, come on. This is, before I even introduce you, I'm going to let you know that this plant is definitely worth the hype. This is my Anthurium Magnificum cross with Regale, and you can tell that who the daddy is of this plant and who the mama is, because it's just huge. It's got all of the things that you want out of a Magnificum and a Regale. It's got those sort of lobes, and it's got that big velvety leaf. It's amazing. The only thing I would say, this plant in particular, my plant, only has the 1 leaf. So I've got all of my eggs in one basket. If anything goes wrong, then this plant will quickly, in my eyes, won't be worth it. But as of now, it is going strong. It is beautiful. It is a statement plant that when it is on display, you can't help but look at it. It is fantastic. I would say definitely worth the hype. Just like the other 2 plants, this plant also came from Indonesia in that same shipment. It was just these 3 plants, and I'll show you guys. It is the Philodendron Burle Variegated, or Variegated, and my lord, it is something just to look at. Just look at those leaves. Come on. If you have seen my video of the unboxing and journey to acclimate these plants, if you haven't, I'm definitely going to link it here. But if you have seen it, just a bit of an update for you guys. We've got I think there's about 3 new leaves. So this one, just for those who have seen it, this is a brand new leaf. Oh, lovely. This is the latest one, fully sort of, it's nearly hardened off, just a week ago. And this one also. So the The fully green side of this plant is definitely putting out more growth, but I don't want to speak too soon. But there are another few growth points here. I just can't wait to see what the leaves look like when they unfurl on this variegated side of the plant. Super excited. Is it worth the hype? I would have to say yes. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous plant. Really, really cool, unique. Each leaf, the variegated ones, just comes out a little bit different. This plant is known for reverting back to its full green. And yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. I'm going to keep an eye on it. But for now, as it is, definitely worth the hype. And it's not the most expensive of the rarer plants. It's getting a lot more common now. If you check on on eBay and sites like that, Etsy, I'm sure you'll be able to get them for a reasonable amount. So next up is a plant that I have had on my wish list from the day that I saw it. Honestly, it's a beautiful plant when it's mature. And I actually spoke about it in my wish list video. And I'm going to link it here if you haven't seen that already. And that plant is, of course, the Anthurium Vittarifolium. And my days, guys, my goodness, it is just beautiful. Now, this is a very small plant, but this plant does get very large. And it's almost like it's a really good hanging plant, like a hanging basket plant, because these leaves get absolutely massive, up to like a meter in length, maybe even more. And yeah, it just looks amazing. It gives you that prehistoric vibe. This is a plant that I was in search for a long time, and I'm so happy to have it. Is it worth the hype? Definitely, I would say it's worth the hype. And I'm enjoying watching this plant grow, and it's growing quite quickly since I've had it. All of these leaves are brand new actually. It's lost its older ones. I've only had this plant since around maybe February, so not that long, maybe just a couple of months. And it's already giving me these gorgeous leaves, and I can see that the next couple I'm going to start getting that draping sort of feel to it. And there's also a bit of a new growth just coming out here, so I'm excited. Definitely one of my favorite Anthuriums. So the final Anthurium that I'll be talking about today is the one and only Anthurium Clarinervium. Guys, come on. You know when I pulled it up, you saw this leaf and you're like, damn, because that's what I do every single day when I look at this plant. It is absolutely gorgeous. I did a whole series on this plant when I transitioned it into leca. It seems to be absolutely loving life, because since then it's given me this leaf, and look at it compared to the older leaves. It's absolutely huge. And guys, we've got an inflorescence that's poking its head out. For the longest time I thought it was another leaf, and I was excited to see it. I was like, oh, 2 leaves in a month. I was really excited, but it's a flower. But I'm excited. I'm going to try to do some pollination with this plant. Yes, and also if you look into the cataphyll, which I like to I need to stop troubling my plants. But if you look into the cataphyll, there's actually another leaf that's on its way out. So definitely I'm going to get another plant, hopefully by the end of this month. And I cannot wait. Is this plant worth the hype? I would say 100%, guys. 100%. This plant here in the UK anyway is really reasonable, I would say. I spent under £20 for this plant. I know in other countries it is a lot more, but for me, in my current situation, this plant is definitely worth the hype. So it probably wouldn't be on that rare plant index or list, but it would be on the uncommon plant list. And if you're looking to start your collection in the velvet leaf Anthurium, this is the place to start. Really easy to manage. I've got it sitting in front of an east facing window, no humidifier, just loving life. Definitely recommend this one, and it's certainly worth the hype. Next up is a plant that was certainly on the higher end of that rare plant scale, and it started to come back down, and I'm happy to see that. And that is none other than the Philodendron Melanochrysum, and it is a gorgeous plant, I must admit. So I got this plant as a 1-leaf cutting, which was this one right here, and it's testing me. I must say, it's testing me as a plant owner on how to give this plant the right care. Now this plant, I would say, is a fairly rapid grower, and because of that, I'm tending to run out of space for it very quickly even just the real estate on the poles that I use. This is the longest stake in my collection, and I've had to change it maybe 3 times now, so I'm not sure how much higher I can go. But this plant, yeah, it's tested me, I would definitely say. So when I first got this plant, as expected, the first leaf was really small, which sort of just happens. It was a cut-in, it had no roots. So yeah, I expected that. And I had it in my greenhouse, and it put out this lovely, lovely leaf. No imperfections, just absolutely gorgeous. Bigger than the original mother leaf, just slightly or maybe the same size. And then I've got a very small greenhouse, guys, and it just wouldn't fit in anymore. So when this leaf started to unfurl, I was like, okay, cool, it's starting to hit the top of the greenhouse, I'm going to take it out. Did that stunted its growth. I understood that. I then transferred the plant into pon, and this has affected the last 2 leaves and even this one as well. So it has been giving me just a little bit of trouble to acclimate it properly and to find out exactly what it likes. At the moment, I've got a little plastic bag that I just put over the leaves to try to hold in that humidity, because I think that is really key for this plant. Is this plant worth the hype? It depends. At this size, it resembles the Philodendron Melanochrysum to me, so nothing hugely spectacular, nothing, you know, that's super dissimilar. But when this plant is mature, damn, yeah, it's in a league of its own. It grows the amazing lobes, very long, almost Anthurium, Queen Anthurium sort of vibes. And it looks just incredible, gets absolutely massive. At that sort of quality and size of leaf, definitely worth the hype. At this one, not so much. And for the amount of work and effort that I have to put into this plant, I would say no, to be fair. But if you've got the right environment, you've got the right humidity. I'm trying not to use a humidifier. And if I was, maybe I would have a different feedback to give you guys. But as it stands, just in my normal sort of everyday, you know, when I compare it to the rest of my plants and the amount of effort I give them, this one is a bit too finicky for me. So I'm going to say not worth the hype. If you are going to get one, try to get, you know, the proper mature sized ones, and you will have you know, much better experience with it. The final plant on my list is the one and only Philodendron Gloriosum, guys. It is the original, the OG rare plant for me. Now this, again, I believe I spoke about it in my wish list plant video, and if I didn't, I should have. So when I first got this plant, it was just a 2-leaf, just these 2 are the oldest. I think this one's fading now. I think I'm going to be losing this one very, very soon, but nonetheless, that's all right, because we got these 2. Since I've had this plant, I've had 2 beautiful leaves, and, you know, just doing really, really great. I've also got this plant, actually, in fact, I should say all of these plants, guys, are in semi-hydro. All of them are in pon, apart from the Clarinervium, which is in leca. But I digress. Let's get back to this one. This is the Philodendron Gloriosum, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful plant. Extremely, for me anyway, I find that it's growing really, really quickly, and especially its growing patterns as it crawls, as a crawler as opposed to a climber. It means that I might have to change this pot very, very soon. I've literally changed it maybe a month ago, and it's nearly at the end. So I reckon I'll probably get a leaf out of this, 1 more leaf, and then I'm going to have to change it into a longer pot. And hopefully, I'm hoping that after this leaf and after it's been settled into pon, I will start to get those really, really big leaves. Is it worth the hype? I would say so, definitely, because it's not a super expensive plant. Again, here in the UK. You can get cut-ins quite easily. You can find them quite often. They do pop up on eBay and other sites like it quite frequently, and the price is starting to go down. So I would definitely say yes, it is worth the hype. So that was it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This was my entire rare plant collection, quote unquote. Yeah, I know rare plants isn't for everyone, especially, you know, when you're starting to look at prices and stuff and they keep climbing and climbing. But I tend to look at a plant's attributes. What does it look like? I've got a thing for the big, large, velvety leaves. And if it does happen to be a rare plant, then I will consider getting it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what I can do to get these plants to throw out some new leaves more quickly, more readily. Let me know what your experience is. Let me know what you think about rare plants. And if you subscribe to the hype, let me know, guys. We'd really, really love to talk about it. But anyway, that was it. Thank you so much for watching and keep planting. The next plant on my list is the Philodendron Melanochrysum. I know that was wrong, but I'm gonna add this to the bloopers so you guys can have a little tickle and laugh.